Hi, everyone. My name is Emma Clark, and I am a summer 2021 intern at the Duke-Margolis Center for Health Policy. And this summer, my project was focusing on understanding payer evidentiary needs for Alzheimer's disease monoclonal antibody treatments. So the objectives of this project were to facilitate multi-stakeholder conversations to understand evidentiary needs, to promote safe and equitable access to new treatments for Alzheimer's disease, as well as to share ideas for innovative strategies that provide coverage and continue evidence generation efforts in this area. And this area became of particular interest because on June 7th, 2021, the US Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, granted breakthrough approval to aducanumab, which is a monoclonal antibody treatment for Alzheimer's and is the first approved Alzheimer's drug that actually is shown to slow the disease progression, as past drugs have simply treated symptoms. And this drug was approved with breakthrough designation, which requires an additional clinical trial to understand more fully the safety and efficacy of this drug in the long term. And this drug was given this because it is yet to establish the long-term evidence, as well as it had very strong evidence for reducing amyloid beta plaques in the brain, but did not show as promising of results in actually improving patients' cognition. So to understand different stakeholder needs in this space, we conducted a landscape analysis of the current innovation pipeline of monoclonal antibodies for Alzheimer's, which includes drugs besides aducanumab that are also nearing approval, hopefully in the next couple of years. And we convened earlier this summer payers, regulators, manufacturers, patient advocates, and clinical experts for a closed-door roundtable in order to more candidly discuss and understand everyone's different stakeholder needs and priorities in terms of coverage policies, as well as evidence generation for drugs of this class. And four emergent policy priorities and themes came from this discussion, and those include evidence generation, identifying the correct patient profile for diagnosis and prescription of these drugs, sustainable pricing models that make sure that manufacturers are fairly compensated, as well as affordability for payers, and health equity, making sure that this drug is accessible to those who need it, regardless of other factors in their life. And a variety of individual stakeholder concerns emerged, as you can see, but a lot of them had overlapping themes of safety, additional evidence, and equity. And so this comes with a couple different policy opportunities. So the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, is currently conducting a national coverage analysis. And so what this means is that they are analyzing data sources and other evidence available in order to make a decision about if they will issue a national coverage determination, which could result in coverage, non-coverage, deference, or coverage with evidence development. And these would be really important because it would make sure that there is consistent Medicare coverage of this drug and drugs of this class across the nation, as opposed to leaving it to individual states. And they also could do a national coverage determination with coverage with evidence development, CED. And this would go along the same 9 to 12 month pipeline as a traditional NCD, but it would also include 1 to 2 years of study design prior to operationalization, and patients would be required to participate in a clinical trial or observational patient registry to receive coverage for this treatment, which would provide ongoing evidence generation that could inform stakeholders of the drug's continued efficacy, safety, as well as necessity for different patient groups. And additionally, there is an opportunity to create some value-based payment contracts. And so these take about a year to finalize the contract that would last usually on average 3 to 5 years. And this would more directly relate the price of the drug to the outcome of the drug. So if patients had more clinical benefit from the drug, the manufacturer would be reimbursed at a greater rate than if the patient did not receive a positive clinical outcome from the drug. And this poses a slight challenge in terms of the timeline, because it is possible that patients could switch insurance plans before that long-term benefit is seen. And this barrier, however, could be overcome through risk-sharing models that account for this possibility. So overall, there are a variety of policy opportunities to support these stakeholder needs for these exciting new drug innovations that include utilizing different data infrastructures to share this real-world evidence across stakeholders, to make sure that there are consistent evaluation measures in place to assess clinical efficacy and outcomes, and also better understand the mechanisms through which the drug works. Alzheimer's disease is an incredibly prevalent health crisis in the United States, affecting over 6 million people with 0 survivors. And these treatments offer hope to patients as well as additional opportunities to understand the disease and one day end it.